Hello, and welcome to the Crew Podcast. I am the visionary Queen Angela, and welcome to Season 2. I want to thank you for tuning in and for all of your support throughout Season 1. We're back, them divas of the airways. So thank you for joining us tonight. Share this with someone in your circle.
At Wings of Transformation Publishing, we are committed to helping our authors reach their goals and pursue their dreams of becoming published authors. We work closely with each author to ensure a successful publishing experience, and we are dedicated to helping them tell their stories in the most meaningful and impactful ways. We look forward to putting you on the path to writing your book.
Checking to see where my head has been. And I've been apologizing to some people. Some bridges I needed to mend.
Hello, and welcome to Season 2 of Let's Chat with Nat. I am your host, Natalie Harvey, and I just want to say welcome. I want to say good night. Thank you for coming back and being with us for this season. I want to say thank you to the Crew Podcast again, to all of the divas that have started their shows this week. We are off and running, and we are kicking it in high gear this year. Season 1 was excellent, so season 2 is going to be off the chart. Tonight's show is basically going to be just talking a little bit about some stuff, the direction that we want to go in for season 2, and just talking about where we're heading as humans, as individuals. Where do we want to see ourselves going, and the things that we want to achieve, and how do we want to achieve it um, for this year and for beyond. And sometimes we just have to sit back, and I'm realizing that sitting back and meditating and just being at one with yourself, just listening, and sometimes, taking up that good old pen and paper or notebook and just writing and jotting down the things that you're thinking about. It helps to clear your mind. It helps to give you direction. It helps to show you, where you may have fell short at in certain things. But it also is good to use to show you your growth as a person, as an individual. Many times I don't think we sit down and really take the time to see how we grow, how we evolve. We're so much in a hurry all the time and wanting to get things done so quick and move and shake and just always on the go. But sometimes just sitting still and listening and just meditating, it helps you to get a clear vision of what you want and who you want to be. And even again, if you believe in a higher power, if you believe in God, you know, it helps you to listen to that small voice to let you know that you're okay, you're gonna be okay. Or, you know, where you may have fell short, it's all right because you're human. You know, you just gotta pick yourself up and make sure that you're not making the same mistake that you have made in the past. Um, you know, I've noticed that even just taking my journal and writing, and sometimes we write things that we may not even realize that we had these thoughts in our minds. Sometimes we can write about love. We can write about how we want to feel as sensual beings. We could write about how somebody pissed us off. And I know for me, sit down. Sometimes when I sit down and I reread what I write, I'm like, did I really say that? Was I really thinking that? Like, I don't know if that happens to you guys, but that happens to me a lot. Like, I'll sit back and I'll read over something that I wrote, and I'm like, oh my goodness, where was my head at when I was writing? But you know, that's just a good way to de stress and detox your mind, detox your thoughts, just let you see sometimes just whatever it is. It's just good to write it down. I always tell people your pen is sometimes your best friend, whether you know it or not. Um, your pen helps you to release thoughts that you have hidden in your heart. Good evening, Travita. Good evening, Shinzet. Your pen is, I always say the pen has some kind of just like magical release to it that once you start writing and you start going, you just flow. And the things that come out are just, it blows your mind sometimes. It's just like, oh wow. Like I said just now, you'll be like, oh wow, did I really say that? Am I really thinking that? It'll shock you. I know for me, it has definitely shocked me, some of the things that I've written, and I'm like, oh wow. I look back and I'm like, my way of thinking has evolved. My thought process, you know, I could see where I wrote something maybe 10 years ago or even a year ago, and I'm like, oh wow, what headspace was I in when I wrote this? It just gives you like this feeling of not gratification. Yes, you're able to release your emotion, but it just gives you this feeling of release when you start to write and when you start to look back on the things that you have written. Um, Sometimes we just don't know. We don't know. We have like all these hidden thoughts inside of us, and we're not able to vocalize them sometimes to people. And we want to be able to vocalize them to people, but sometimes people aren't receptive to hear what we have to say. You know, maybe it's not the right time to say anything. So your best bet is always to write it down. Maybe it's something that you think that may be a little bit embarrassing, or something. It could be an innermost thought that you're not comfortable in sharing, but you desperately want to share it, but you can't share it because you don't know how to share it. Pick up your pen, get your notebook, get your pad, even your phone. We have our phones in our hands all the time. The phones have the little notepad inside of it, and just start releasing your innermost thoughts that way. um I know for me, when I started to write my book, and like I tell people, my book took me literally about 12 years to write. And during that time period, I went through a different array of thought processes and situations and feelings. And whenever the urge or the unction hit me, I would pick up my computer, I would pick up my pen, my notebook, and I would just start to flow. And there's been many times where I would just start writing. I would just start releasing that emotion. And by the time I'm done, I could probably start like now. It's 8 o'clock, 8:10 at night. And sometimes I realize that I'm up all night just writing, just letting it go, letting those thoughts that I've been bottling up inside, just releasing them. And when you look back on your stuff, on your work, it gives you like and you now put them to a book, and you're able to put it out there for others to read, and people are able to see what you were feeling. Sometimes you have people come up to you and say, oh my God, I didn't realize that other people thought the same thing that I was thinking. And you're like, really? Wow. Like, for me, that makes me feel like I'm not the only person that has that thought or that's going through that emotion when I was going through it. It helps me to know that other people think the same way. But now that you're able to put your work out there and people are able to read it and identify with it, it makes it even more special, and it makes it even more satisfying to know that what you did has helped somebody else, you know. And I think in life, that's what our ultimate goal is we want to help people. We want to be able to reach people where they are. Sometimes people don't have that support system that they need. Sometimes they don't have those people around them, or even if they do have those people around them, sometimes they're not able to say what they want to say. But just a line in the story that you're writing, or a quote in the story, or something that you say can help them identify and say, okay, I'm not the only one. There's somebody else that also feels what I feel. Yes, once you start, exactly. You by the time you are done and you get all of that out of you, you never realize how much time has passed. You just let it flow, and you let it flow naturally. When something like that can't be forced, it has to come natural. When you have the ability to be in tune with your feelings and in tune with the conversation that you want to have, or the 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 how do you say it, not the words, but the message that you want to relay, time does not hold you back. There's no notion of time. You just let it flow and you let it go, because in that instance when you're working and you're doing what you have to do, because it's so heavy on your heart at times, you have to get it out by any means necessary. You're not being conscious of the time. You just want to get it out, and you want to put it out there for somebody else to be able to reach it and grasp it, and let it minister to them the same way that it is ministering to you. You know, we don't realize how what we say has an effect on people. Some people may see it as a gift. Some people may see it as, oh, this person just wants to put it out there to put it out there. But you don't know whose life you're going to touch. Hey, Patrice, you don't know whose life you're going to touch. You don't know where that person is at that moment when they're reading what you have wrote. Many times we sit back and we think that we don't have anything to give. We don't have anything to offer somebody, but we do. What we say, how we say it, the way that we look at a person, just as simple the way we say hello to a person. We never know what that person needs at that moment. We're not in their thought process, and they may not be able to release the thought process that they have. But just that kind smile or that kind word of hello, or just reading that line, it will help them to be able to release what it is that they have to say. And I find that more and more as we grow in society and as times are changing and people are getting older, more people day by day, we're hearing are going through stuff. We need to be able to share our words with people. We need to be able to give people something that they could say, you know what? When I'm in that time of need where I can't go to somebody else, I have this piece of work that I can pick up and I can flip the pages and I can read a passage. And I know that when I read this passage, it's going to help me to be calm. It's going to put me in a mind where a place where I have a peace of mind. And I think if we do that more, we'll be able to see a whole lot more changes. This world is crazy now. If you know, like I know, this world is real crazy. And we need to be able to find a time where we can have a peace of mind. A lot of people don't have that. A lot of people are not in a space, or sometimes they want it, but they don't know how to get it. So being able to give people a peace of mind, being able to encourage people now more than ever, especially in 2024. I I tell everybody 2023 was a year that I was like, yeah, no, I'm done. I don't want no parts of it. I don't want to see 2023 ever again. But what I've come to appreciate about it is that there were people that were able to encourage me, and there were people that I was able to encourage. And again, it could have been just a simple word, a simple smile, a simple gesture. I've had people message me and say, I've read your book and such passage in it. It helped me to overcome certain things that I had buried away for so long, or certain situations that I've been dealing with since childhood. And now that I am an adult, it still bothers me, but I read such and such. And the way how you put the words, it helped me to put what I was feeling into perspective. So sometimes we just have to, when we write, we always have to remember that it's not just for us. It's for the reader. It's for the person that needs that word. It's for the person that is going through some kind of mental anguish at the time, but may not know how to deal with it. Be the be the author, be the spoken word, the person that's doing spoken word, and know that the audience that you have to reach them by any means necessary, because it could be an audience of people that are really hurting. It could be an audience of people that are in a happy space in their life. It could be anything. We don't know because we're not in that person's mind. So we're gonna take a quick little break, and then we're gonna come back, and then I'm just gonna share with you some things that we're gonna be doing on Let's Chat with Nat for the rest of season 2. So we'll be right back.
The book, A Song for Zipporah, written by David Harris, is a powerful historical fiction centering around the life and character of Moses' future wife, Zipporah, before they met. Book author David Harris brings the reader into the relationship between Moses and Zipporah, which was gradual and lush. The story unfolds beautifully when Moses finally asks Zipporah to marry him. Purchase your copy of the book detailing this authentic story, A Song for Zipporah by David Harris today. It's available online at Barnes & Noble and Amazon.com.
Alrighty, so we are back. So this season for Let's Chat with Nat, first season we was getting our feet wet, getting to know how we wanted to get in the groove of things. And of course, life happened and I went through my situation, but now we're back. So basically for this season, you're going to see a lot more of not just me by myself, but I'm going to have some days where I have special guests coming, and we're going to talk about a wide variety of topics. And some of the topics that we're going to talk about is the mother-daughter relationship aspect, the aspect of knowing your body in a sensual way as a woman, how to be in tune with your body, just coming into your own, dealing with adult children, because once these children that we have come of age, they tend to slightly work our nerves a little bit. But talking about how we deal with that, Just a whole lot of fun stuff that we're going to be talking about this season. And I'm going to be more we're going to be engaging more. We're going to have some of you come live during the show. A lot of just getting to have that kitchen table conversation that we love to have with our good girlfriends or our cousins, family members, whoever it is. You know, I always say we love a good conversation. We love to laugh. We love to joke. We love to keep. So this season is going to be having that good old kitchen table conversation. But while we're having that kitchen table conversation, we're going to be learning some things. We're going to be meeting some people, some other fellow authors. I'm going to be interviewing them and their work, just getting to do this thing and reaching people no matter what. You know, we have our hosts every night. There's always a host coming live. So whether it's me that you see, whether it's Patrice, whether it's Trevita, whether it's Black Diamond, Latanya, Queen Angela, our other two new co-hosts, or Minister Alma. Yes, Patrice, stop it. Just continue to support the Crew Podcast because we want to reach everybody. Yes, the Crew Podcast 2024. We are reaching the world. We're not just staying in our local spaces. We are going and we are conquering the world this year. You know, each show has such great topics. The hosts are awesome. And like I said, whether it's my show, whoever's show, subscribe, follow the Crew Podcast page here on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram, and YouTube to see when we have a host coming live. That way you can catch them. Send in topics to us. If there's something that you feel that you want us to talk about, send it in. We'll talk about it. I'll talk about it on my show. And we just want to reach everybody. We have a mission and we're going to fulfill our mission. I know I have a mission. I'm going to be here to fulfill it. You know, I think this year and this season is just going to be phenomenal. So with that, I'm going to get ready to wrap it up a little bit, and I will be back on the fourth Sunday of this month. That will be the 25th. That's going to be a really nice show. I'm going to have some guests on that one. So I want y'all to come prepared because that show at the end of the month is going to be a show. Get your popcorn ready. Get your drink ready. Get yourself ready because I'm telling you, it's gonna be quite the conversation that night. So with that, I'm gonna bid you a good night. I love you guys, and I will see you next time. And this is Let's Chat with Nat. So have a good night. Bye-bye.
I've been reading my old journals, checking to see